I'm in over $300 mining crypto in the month of December. Today I want to go through with you guys and talk about the projects that I was involved in. It has changed a little bit from the previous month, and I also did just finish my 2025 in review, so stay on the lookout for that. We're going to be comparing whether or not it would have been better if I sold my crypto as it incurred, so if I sold it every time I earned it or at the end of the month, versus selling it all on December 31st. Spoiler alert, one is drastically better than the other, and I wish I did that instead. And if you guys have been watching these videos, you would know which one that is, but we will save that for a different video. Now let's just get into talking about December in review. I apologize for the lateness of this video. It has been quite a hectic start to the year. Traveled to Chicago, traveled to Wisconsin, been dealing with some family issues, and just it's been quite the interesting month. But here we are, better late than never, starting off going over some of the trends that I've talked about for the past couple of months. ASICs and DPINs, I have shifted primarily to ASICs. It has been very expensive. It's a very expensive venture, but I was hoping it would pay off. It still hasn't seen its full break-even point yet, and when that does happen, I'll probably pop champagne on the stream because that would be a great day. And then from there on out, it's all profit. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I do mine differently than some others might, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this. We'll see as market conditions change whether or not it's going to be worth it. Right now, what I do with all of my ASIC mining is I actually mine Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and USDC, so I'm technically just mining cash at that point. Basically, I mine and then it converts for me automatically, and I'm holding on to that USDC. So it's in a crypto account that I have on a hardware wallet, and it earns interest, which is really great. Then for paying the electricity bills, I actually use my credit card. I use my Gemini credit card, and this was the most expensive month I've ever had. It was about $700 in electricity, and I still made a profit. I mined about $1,000 through ASICs, so $700 in electricity brings me to about $300 in profit just for ASICs. And you can see, I mean, it's very clear that the ASICs is pretty much the entirety of my portfolio now. I do have a ton of DPIN miners here, but the ASICs in terms of revenue is just far superior. So Dogecoin, I made 3,800 Doge in the month of December for a revenue of about $471 with the expenses, and I split the expenses up between all three of them, which they're always at the top now. Gives me a grand total of about $240. Would I actually count these expenses? I'm not sure, because I am paying them out of pocket. It's kind of just preference. They are expenses and they are real, but I am holding all of the crypto. So technically the crypto just, I'm spending cash and getting crypto in return. I don't know how else to explain that. I hope that makes sense. Helium Mobile Indoor Hotspot. Helium has just been on such a big downturn this second half of the year. I think it was at like $6 at the beginning of this year, and now we're at $1.51. Very upsetting. I guess I could say at the end of last year, because we're in January now. But I made $26.50. No expenses on that. The HyFX GeoNet station, I'm getting alerts all the time that it is in a critical state compared to the rest of the network, because I earn like every 3 or 4 days, but it's better than nothing. If I did, because right now it's like times by 10, I should be earning every day. I would be making $50 a month versus 15, but it's still better than nothing. So I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I think in order to get the 31-day rewards, or to get just better rewards, what I need to do is have this device on the roof, and I can't do that with the current HOA setup I have. Maybe I'll be able to find somebody that I have a couple ideas in mind. I could maybe move that device onto somebody else's roof coming the new year. Right now it is snowing a lot, so nothing's gonna get done, but that would be a good idea if I could actually get that on somebody's roof. Maybe even my own. Maybe I'll buy a house this year. That's the goal. Maybe I'll make another video with my goals for this year. There's a lot on the table. There's a lot that's been happening behind the scenes, believe it or not. I'm building an app. Just thought I'd throw that out there if you guys are watching. Demo R1, 592 tokens, made about $7, $2 in expenses. So it was a really low month because Demo went down 39%. It's really struggling. Ether Edge went down 35%. I only made $6. This device kind of sucks based on the price that they're still charging for it. Like, I don't know why. I think it's like $1,200 for the device. You're making $6 a month. nobody's going to buy that device. They have to rework their tokenomics or something. They have to make sure that they drive people to buy their token. They have to drive revenue to their token. I'm not sure if they're even selling anything. That's a topic for another video that we can go over, whether or not Aether is actually having any sales. Demo Macaroon, I only have one offline now. I have the other one. I guess it's in a drawer now. It was on my desk for like 4 months. I need to find a car to put that in. It was actually in my father's car, and he sold his car, so he's carless right now. And I'm like, dude, you got to get your car up and running. But with Demo and their subscription thing, I should probably just sell it, honestly. Helium IoT, which is now the HNT device, they made about a 1.87 Helium. Now, this is interesting because if I keep going down here, everything else below here is 0. So I'm just going to uncheck them, but we're going to go one by one. And we're going to put a pin on the HNT because it is important going down to Crank. So Wayru decided out of nowhere on about, I want to say December 26th, or maybe it was like December 23rd, that they were going to shut down all their operations effective at the end of the year, 12/31. And they did. Just like that, shut down the Discord, no heads up, nothing. The token price absolutely tanked. It's worth nothing now. There's nothing for this project. The only dollar amount left in the token would be just people that didn't get to sell their tokens in time, which would be me. But if there's no liquidity left, then there really is nothing there. So that pissed off a lot of people. I've yet to make a video on that. Like I said, it's just been a very busy, stressful time for me this past 17 days since I'm recording this on the 17th. But we're starting to catch up on some stuff. So Wayru was very disappointing. I know a lot of people are upset. Looking back on it, like, they did kind of suck. I don't want to get into it too much in this video. This is also a topic for another video, but Wayru basically, like, if there was an outage that was on the weekend, they would just say like, oh, we'll get to it on Monday and we'll just reward people. So it was weird. It was really kind of sketchy from the beginning, but I didn't want to burn any bridges. I always want to make sure that I kind of keep good relations until there's some seriously alarming issues. And at this point, it was just like, hey, we're shutting down, we're done. That was it. So that kind of sucked. Crank also is like shut down temporarily because Cadena is having their issues, and I have 6 Crank miners right now. So that is tied into the Helium IoT. So before I made this video, I wasn't even thinking about it, but I was going to just take down all my Crank devices. At this point, like, I don't see the project resurrecting in the next couple of weeks to months, and I just have these devices laying around. I might be able to sell them or reuse them for other projects, and if I sell them, I could get a couple bucks out of them. Most of them have Raspberry Pis. I got a Sense Cap on my desk. It's been on my desk for a while, but since I'm recording this video, it reminded me that I am actually earning on 3 of them HNT, so that will make it worth it for me to keep these devices up. Even though it's $3, I'll have to look at the prices. I might be able to sell them. I know the Raspberry Pi still go for quite a good amount of money. I just have to restore them to their factory settings, and that will be that. The GeoPulse, I re-downloaded it on my phone. I had the test flight version, which is like the beta version. They just released it in the App Store, and by just released, it was probably like 5 months ago they released it in the App Store, but I just have not been paying attention, and downloaded that again. So we're going to see if we can get some more GeoPulse earnings for 2026. Deep was supposed to have their token generation event. I mentioned this in the previous video. They were so set in stone on it having their TGE in 2025 when they go live, when they have their mainnet launch, but it got postponed because the Clarity Act is still being finalized. There's not really anything set in stone yet. Once that gets set in stone, then Deep can go live. So it's really good news because that means that Deep has pretty much everything they need. They just need the legislation to make sure that they don't make any mistakes, and that is just going to come whenever the federal government gets that together. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to Deep's launch. It's nice to see that the project is actually wanting to launch, but they can't because of government issues, rather than them just kicking the can down the road with whatever excuse that they have, which is what a ton of projects do, and I'm really glad to see that. XNET, the device is still offline. I'm trying to sell it. But the good news is the Wayru devices that I had, I sold them. I had like 6 routers. I guess if we go to Wayru here, maybe May or June, probably June. No, probably March. Yeah, I had 6 Wayru devices. I was earning 70,000 Wayru. I sold all 5 of them to a viewer slash friend, and so that I'm happy with that. So I got some money back out of the project, so that's exciting. But that's gonna do it for this video. I accidentally clicked on the wrong tab. But that's going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions about any of the projects that I covered today, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, as well as let me know about any new projects that are on your radar for 2026. I've kind of been just like all over the place. Like, I can't even explain how crazy everything is right now. So I haven't really been paying attention to the latest crypto projects or following stuff as close as I could or as I wanted to. It's tough. I know I said in like the Q4 video, and I don't want to get too much into it right now, but I know I said in like my previous life update video how I really wanted to make this kind of like my full-time gig, and I definitely didn't step up to the plate with that, so I'm disappointed, but we're going to give it our best shot. I'm trying to do pretty much like 5 things at once, and I want them all to be like 100%, and I just don't have that capability in myself to be able to do that all the time, every day, day after day. So it's a process. With the full-time job in New York, with the crypto channel, trying to study for the CPA, trying to qualify for the Olympic trials in 2028, and just, you know, that has its own set of things. Like, I have to work out all the time, and I like to work out, but I have to do all that. I have to make sure that I get enough sleep, I eat healthy, and then with the commute to New York, it's like 4 hours round trip. So it's really just kind of grinding me down right now. But we're still kicking. We're trying to figure out a good rhythm, and who knows, maybe 2026 will be the year of a lot of changes in my life. I'm hoping that they're all positive, and I'm hoping that I can just start generating enough income that I don't have to go as far as New York all the time. I know my office, or my job, also has offices in different spots, so well, we're going to look into that. But that's just a little ramble. If you guys are still sticking around, I appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. I hope you guys all have a great day, a great New Year's. I hope you had a good past couple of weeks, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a great one. Peace out.